Alright gang, aloha. Welcome back, adepts and initiates. We are going to get into the nitty-gritty workings of our fascia work. So go ahead and grab your roller again, Fascinator, preferred means of rolling. Now we're going to start off first and foremost with the lower body. We're going to hit and focus upon the feet first and foremost, going to the calves, all the way up to the thighs, and then to the hips. Now, starting first and foremost, we're going to actually go from a standing position. I'm going to do my right leg. That's going to be facing towards the camera. Hands on your hips. Place your foot onto the roller, specifically just beyond the balls of the feet. Now, bend that knee. Push your butt back slightly so your chest comes forward. As your chest comes forward, what we're going to be doing is just slowly focusing upon applying some pressure into and through the foot. Now, if you've ever dealt with plantar fasciitis, for example, this is an area that keeps a lot of stress, right? When we're walking around in the world, we're walking typically, not always, however, typically we're walking on our feet. So our feet is and are the first point of contact. And so as such, we want to make sure that we're applying pressure through and to. Now, as we do, what I want you to focus upon is breathing in, not blowing, breathing in slowly through your nose, breathing down deep, deep, deep into your body. And then breathing out slowly through your mouth. Now the entire time, what you're looking for is any point of tension. These are the little crunchies. You can feel it in your foot, in your body. It could be a little tight. It could also be a little painful. Now when you hit a crunchy, just pause there for a little while, and I want you to focus upon the word release. 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 Because as this word, almost like a mantra, becomes part of our practice, specifically here, then we're releasing the tension, we're releasing the stress. We're also releasing the source of the tension and the stress. Now, let's switch up sides. You can say just as you are. I'm going to switch sides so you can see this a little bit better on the camera. Left foot now on the roller. Again, slight bend in the knees, push your butt back, chest leaning forward. The reason we do that is we want to use gravity to our advantage. And by just leaning forward, we put more weight into the foot. Again, slowly, millimeter by millimeter, rolling through. Breathing in slowly through the nostrils. Steadily out through the mouth. And as we do, release. 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 Perfect. Great start, folks. Let's go ahead and transition. I'm going to upgrade my travel roller, which is the smaller one, to my Old Faithful. Now, I'm facing, my right hand side of the body is facing towards you. And we're going to get ourselves positioned because we're going to get both legs positioned onto the roller. Not just the legs, but just above the base of the belly of the calf is where we're going to put our body positioning. Once there, we're going to push off of our hands, shrugging our shoulders down and keeping our chest up high. Now as we do, we're moving ourselves slowly forward. As that happens, then the roller slowly and steadily moves back. You want to position yourself so you're always keeping your hands and your shoulders relatively close so we're not putting too much stress upon the shoulders themselves. What you're going to find is that after a while you may get a little tired with this, and that's absolutely fine. Millimeter by millimeter, we're just bringing circulation. Again, that clogged pipe, that drain, we want to increase that circulation. The pressure on these muscles helps to reduce the stress, yes, yet our muscles often are kind of like a sponge. And so unless we get water to these areas, they are actually pretty dry. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cross my left leg over my right leg, starting again at the base of the belly of the calf. Pushing up and off. Slowly now moving, again, forward. Now once you got a little spot, just pause there for a moment. And what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your foot or your feet both to the left and to the right. There's a spot. And as you do, you're going to find a really good area that hurts. And that hurt is going to be, quite painful, but pain with purpose. Let it sit there, focus on breath, and release. Continuing on as you do. Let's switch up sides now. I'm going to move myself so you can still see easily from my body positioning where you want to be. Left leg now is going to be on top of the roller. Right leg is going to cross over. Hands down on the ground, pushing your butt off of the ground, keeping your chest held high. And again, rolling slowly and steadily, looking for that feel. Rotating your foot from the inside into the outside. Woo, yeah. Release, release, release. Feel free to, at home, as long as the children are not around, if they're around at all. Yeah. Swear like a sailor. Because we're all about releasing. We're all about releasing. All right, we're going to transition now. We're going to stay on the left leg. Staying on the left leg, we're going to orient ourselves to basically just above, having the roller just above the knee, and we're going to be rolling all the way up to the hip. Okay? So taking ourselves into that position, we're going to be on our side now. As we get onto our side, getting into that position and holding, slowly, steadily, once again, we're moving. Yes, indeed, and we're releasing. Oh, so fancy free. Now, as you start to get into this position, notice that my left arm is down, my left leg is on the roller, my right foot is on the ground, my right hand is on the ground as well. Now take your right foot and your right hand just a little bit further away from your body, because we're going to rotate as if we're taking our right shoulder down to the ground. As we do, woo, kind of like we did with our calves, right? Rotating our foot and feet side to side. This will help on finding a few more areas right along the ridge line of our thighs. Now again, we're going to move ourselves, this time making sure that our elbow is somewhere close beneath our shoulder. Helps to maintain the integrity of the shoulder and the joint itself. Down and all the way back up. Good. Now, let's switch up sides. Switching up sides to the right-hand side now. Again, orienting from the top of the knee all the way up to the hip is where we're going to be rolling. Positioning the roller right now just above right knee. Crossing left foot over, holding in that position. And now slowly and steadily, we're rolling. And this side, whoo, way tighter than the other. Which is natural. I mean, often we think that our body is supposed to be, balanced and symmetric. And it really is not. You're going to find all sorts of areas that hurt way more on one side, more so than the other. Just take note of where that is. Focus on our mantra, release, release, release. And breath. Now as we go all the way up into the thigh, to the hip, you can spend more time on this. Doing this properly, you actually want to hit these points of pain and stay there for a little longer. So right now, find a point of pain. I got one right there. And close your eyes. Focus on that area. Focus on your word, release, release, release. And now on breath, breathing in deeply, almost into that point of pain. And then out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. And out through the mouth. And continue on. Now, on your own, that's what you're going to want to focus upon. Come on off and relax. Is that level of focus and intentionality. Now we're going to finish up with two more areas. One more area on both sides, rather. Getting into position. Go ahead and take a seat on top. We're still on the right-hand side, so your right hip is where we're going to focus upon. You're going to take your right foot, crossing it over your left thigh. Drop down to your forearm on the right hand side. Okay? You can help to support balance by gripping with your left hand onto your right shin. Keep the back nice and straight, and we're going to just trail the tailbone. Now, this is an area called the piriformis. So if you've ever dealt with sciatic nerve pain, for example, or slight stress within the hip, this is probably one of the areas that are contributing to it. So slowly going down, feeling that area of pain with purpose. Release, focusing upon breath. Let's switch over to the last roll of our lower body for now. Onto the left hip. Similarly, we're getting into position, sitting upon and on top. Left leg crossing over the right. Back nice and straight, chest held high. Elbow beneath shoulder, and roll. Now again, focusing upon that release is really going to help out in terms of the reduction of overall stress. Oh yeah. And relax. All right, so that is our lower body roll. What you want to do now is take a little bit of a break and get yourself some of your water. Because as we roll these areas, we increase that flow, right? Muscles, again, very much like a sponge. We're bringing water to help nourish the muscular tissue, help to nourish the fascia itself. And as that happens, we also increase flow. So make sure you're getting in a lot of water. We're going to take a real quick break for now, and we'll see you in a little bit.